Alright, so I broke down and finally decided that I got to get the Eugene East control panel reaccomplished, I'll say. The front panel is new. I didn't go crazy with the engraved stuff, but I just made it myself like I did for the other panels. And I had holes drilled in it and toggles here and there. I said, this is kind of kludgy, especially when people are going to come over to operate. So I said, all right, let's do it. So not a huge deal. I did find out I am such a moron. I made a mistake on the front. I'll show you that when I get it installed. It's really silly. I'm such an idiot sometimes. But what I'm doing here is just revamping things. I had to add in, since I did add one crossover at the far end of the interlocking, I had to add in one of these little. This is for the manual hand control. Either the dispatcher can control it or the local crew can control it. And then it has a light that LED goes on when it's in local. So I had to make one more of those. So I had to move everything down. Luckily for the CMRI stuff on the SMC 12, it's not a 12, it's actually a 4. But anyway, that's the turnout control. There's a spare one here at the end, so I can just pop the new turnout right there. So that's a little stroke of good luck. I did have to make up here in the mess one additional switch. This is for the new crossover. That's going to be wired in shortly. You can see I have the wires there all laying out, and that'll be utilizing this and the one spare there. Clean up the wiring a little bit. There's only so much you can do inside one of these cabinets, but just thought I'd show that. Not real exciting, just something I'm doing. I will have to make some changes on the back. I'm going to have to add, probably remove this 6-point terminal board to an 8-point, because again, off of these switches for the turnouts, it does have feedback that way to the CMRI inputs, so it knows what the turnout's doing and that kind of stuff. So I'll have to modify that and run more wires and stuff. But plugging away at this, and let me get this stuff wired up, cleaned up, then I'll show you the wonderful mistake I made on the front. Alright, there's the back of the board. I put all the LEDs back in. So now you can see my long golden locks of black and red hair. Luckily, I didn't even think of this till I started going through it. I needed one additional yellow LED, which I happen to have. I had 2 spares. Phew. I needed 5 additional greens, and I had 6 spares. So, wow. Talk about getting lucky. I put in the new toggle for the SM4 is what I'm calling that new crossover. All the other ones are still wired. So, these are going to go where they need to go. And of course I had to hook up all these darn LED wires, but all the other switches are still pretty much wired in. So these should just be a matter of reinstalling into the cabinet and everything works. He says, hopefully. Alright, let's get moving along here, then I'll show you the wonderful moronic mistake on the front. Alrighty, got it back together. And here you can see the mistake I made. Like I said, I'm putting the thing up and I'm counting the toggle switches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? What's going on? Yeah, I added an extra track. So, and of course, now I can't find this spray paint color. I think I went through it all when I made all the cabinets up. I found something I thought was close. Obviously, it doesn't look right. I'm going to try to find a Vallejo paint that might match it. I looked through all my, cheap acrylics. I can't find anything that's this shade. I'm not going to worry about custom mixing something. That's just crazy. Whatever. Again, I did take out and filled in the hole for the toggle and the 2 LEDs that were going to be there. So, anyway, everything seems to work okay. Everything lights up the way it's supposed to. I had 2 wires I had to flop for 2 LEDs. That were backwards, in that when the switch was actually in normal, the reverse light was on. That's just a matter of swapping them in the back. That was simple. So that's all done. Now I got to label it. Obviously, there's nothing labeled yet. And then down here I did, after I had sprayed that, some got on my hands as I was monkeying around, and I got some carryover down. I was like, oh crap. Again, I thought about redoing the whole thing for about 8 seconds and thought, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, most people are going to come in here and just start throwing switches and operating, so they're not going to pick this apart, I don't think. So let me get it labeled up, because everything works. The old one's laying down there on the floor, now all sad and forlorn because I had to change everything. But that's the way it goes. So, all right. I did do one other thing that I can show maybe on this video. I actually built a Branchline passenger car kit. The first time I've done it, so I didn't video any of it, but I'll at least show you the car. I'm not saying it's great, but let's go take a look. At least there's something out here I can use to pad the run length of this video. All right, there's the Branchline New York Central coach. Interesting kit. Again, first kit, passenger car kit that I've built. In fact, first freight car kit, any rolling stock kit that I've built, I think ever. Not saying it's perfect. The kit itself, it is a little tedious. I'm not saying it's hard, but there's a lot of little parts and a lot of, little doodads to fit on and everything. When I got it, the interior piece was warped pretty bad. I tried to heat it up under warm water, almost boiling water, and reshape it, and it kind of worked. So I wound up super gluing it down, and it seemed to hold okay. I also messed up on the roof. I don't know if you can really tell. I don't think I built the ends and the internal partitions as well as carefully as I should have, because at one end the roof's off a little bit, and then I had to come back in and actually glue it down. I put a couple of dabs of super glue, and then came back with some liquid cement, liquid plastic cement, and then clamped it carefully, very carefully, to hold it down. So I mean, it's not terrible, and again, you're going to see it from a higher angle. So, and again, the car's been weathered. You can kind of see it looks kind of gummed up. Again, this passenger service that comes out of Olean over to Eugene, it's kind of a joint thing with the New York Central and the Pennsy, so that's why you'll see coaches of both. The railroads hate it. I mean, the state of Pennsylvania will not let them get rid of it, of the service. They're fighting like heck to try it, so who knows, it may not last for long. And they get the most beat up, crappiest stuff the railroad can give them. So these coaches don't get washed very often, and they're just in pretty beat up shape. Although this car does have air conditioning, I didn't add the air conditioning underneath it. I believe this car, if I look at a roster that I found on the internet, real good site that talks about the New York Central passenger cars, I think this car had Lundy, is how you pronounce it, air conditioning. Some had Frigidaire. So anyway, I'm sure I can buy some type of air conditioner compressor and whatnot, and then glue it underneath at some point in time. But for now, you also notice I did modify it with four-wheel trucks, because a lot of the Central coaches had four-wheel trucks. That again, that same site had a note how to do that. I kind of really went to town and went medieval on it. It's kind of ugly. I'm not even going to show you. But I basically you have to gouge out the bolster, and then some of the underframe that you may be able to see. There's a gap right there. It may not show up with my terrible lighting here, but anyway, I went in with a Dremel tool, hacked it, and got the trucks on. The trucks themselves, let me just pan over here and see if you can read that. Again, the lighting's not too good. They're Walthers 933-1077 Pullman 8-foot four-wheel trucks. Allegedly, they're a pretty good match for New York Central. I apologize for the darkness there. But, those are on. I did go ahead and add at the ends of the car the diaphragms, the coupler yokes, the chains, all that kind of fun stuff. And like I said, it's pretty well weathered up and beat up. I did add, there's a gentleman sitting here on the inside. I did not add lighting, just didn't feel like it. I got lazy, to be honest. There's a person on the other side there. Again, these trains are not well patronized. The railroads really wish they could get rid of them. But so overall, this kit was interesting. There's the other end. I don't know if you can see any of the details that were added. Just typical Branchline style. Again, the yokes, the safety chains, the hook, some of the steam lines and everything. and it's all been pretty well weathered up in a pretty gnarly manner. Again, I weathered it. I'm trying to use the easy weather method. No airbrush. I'm not anti-airbrush. It's just I don't like to get it out a lot. So this was weathered pretty much with Vallejo spray paints. You can just kind of see the dust along the bottom. I didn't do it too well along the ends. Probably a little bit too heavy. It's a technique you need to get used to, or I need to get used to. So I kind of overdid it. When I hit the ends, it kind of came up on the top of the roof of the car, and it's not really all that great. But other than that, some washes and good enough. Again, it's kind of a beat up, not beat up, just older, kind of neglected coach. I do have one more kit coming like this, the similar two-tone scheme. So I'm going to build that one probably right away, only because once you get into this stuff and you're doing things, you kind of remember it. So if I wait 6 months, I'll forget everything I had to go through on this car. So I might try to build it right away. And then also in the interim, so let me scoop pardon me. Let me get Mr. Branchline kit out of the way. In the interim, I found this on the internet. La da da! This is an Atlas, which is obviously just it's a Branchline car, because I can recognize all the stuff that I just went through. Ready-made. I think I paid $45 for this. So you say $45 versus $10, but it's $10 with a lot of time. And this is going to be $45 with some. So I will weather it carefully. I'm probably going to leave the 6-wheel trucks on this one, because again, some coaches did have it. I don't know if this number did. I could look, I guess, and if I'm really worried about it, find out. I just don't feel like hawking up the underframe like I did. But I noticed a lot. I mean, I recognize all those doodads and little kit bits are all the same as on the other one. And they also give you, here's a little blister case I have back here. And yay, little bags of, look at that, coupler yokes and all the other little details. There's safety chains in here, little eyelets and everything. So all the detail parts they're not on the car, on the ready to run car, but they're included. So if I feel like it, and I probably will, again, because I added them on this car. So that way, now this one has the vents, so I'm not sure it has air conditioning. I am no passenger car expert, so don't take any advice from me on passenger cars. Oh, and another note on the kit, I replaced the coupler with KDs. On the ready to run, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this. I don't know, it's got those plastic Accumate or whatever they are. But the way they put the coupler on, I might not be able to do that unless I had a spare kit and could pull the whole coupler. And if you build a Branchline kit, you know what I'm talking about. The whole coupler assembly is like one big piece, and the coupler pocket cover is actually glued on. No, that makes me a little bit nervous, but that's the way it is. So on this one, again, if I was going to try to, I don't know if I'll be able to show this if I lay this car over. It's probably going to be way too hard to see, but the whole coupler is box and the center is screwed in there. I don't know if you can see it there under the truck. And it sits on there, and I think that there's the cover for the coupler pocket. It's glued on. So I might be able to pry it off and get a KD in there. I could try that. Worst case, you probably can get a spare Branchline kit for relatively cheap. I mean, some of these sell real cheap at train shows, and even on eBay, you can often get them for about $10. I don't know. We'll see. But again, I'm not going to be switching a lot with these, so it may just, so it may be fine. You know what I mean? Just leave it alone. Again, pardon my poor lighting here. You can see the gap in the roof there. I wonder if I can get in there and play with that little. Oh, and he just derailed it. Okay, anyway. So, and that's about all that passenger train is going to be. See, these little forward, they squeak a lot too. Anyway, I hope it runs okay. But, that's pretty much it. 2 coaches, not well patronized. A C-liner locomotive or a passenger Jeep. On the Pensy, it might be, same thing, a passenger hood unit, maybe an E8 on occasion. But Again, the railroad's not too happy with this. But anyway, so that's the Branchline kit. What's the actual kit? Here's the actual kit. Again, these are pretty well known. And apparently pretty accurate for New York Central as well. So it is a prototypically, I'll say that 4 times fast, accurate kit. So, alright, so there is a Branchline kit with a ready-to-run Atlas, which is, you can definitely see the family similarity to the old Branchline stuff. And I have one more of these coming that I'll build. So I'll have 3 New York Central coaches. I have some Pensy, some P70 coaches, and can run a little, the hated local over from Olean into Eugene. So, alright, that's about all I did recently. So let me just pause there and see if there's anything else I can come up with. Well, let me introduce you to my little friend. So, I'm going to wrap this video up. Like I said, not a whole lot has been done other than the wiring for the Eugene cabinet and that Branchline kit. But I did pick up on eBay a New York Central F3A unit. It's a Proto 1000 DCC sound. So I said, you know what, that might be a good locomotive to use for that much hated local that runs from Olean into Eugene. So, okay. Needs a little bit of work. It came off a guy's layout. Only cost like 90 bucks. But it sounds nice. I'll probably come in and maybe check the couplers and open it up and make sure everything's doing well inside. But, alright, so going forward, what I think I'm going to do, I got to do it. I don't want to do it. But I've been looking at getting all the, you can't see that for anything, can you? Getting all the CMRI wiring redone so I can get all the signals back in. So I've been monkeying around trying to figure out what I got to rerun, which is a lot. I'll tell you what, let me just mute this bad boy because I'm going to wander on down here quickly with the camera. Oh, you can see my f-stop's way off. Okay. So I've been working at my looking at my diagram for the layout, determining what the new, because I redid this interlocking completely. This crossover is all new here at Eugene East. Wasn't there before. A lot of it's pretty much the same. Most of the changes were with this and then over here in Sharon. So all of this is kind of reconfigured and new, and I got to figure out what signals I want to use and determine where I'm going to run, where I have open slots for input and outputs. This is kind of the list of all the signals that I need. I just did this today. Every location, all the signals, what type of signal I want it to be, how many output lines I need to run it with the CMRI system. A lot of new stuff. Actually, all of this here is new. So I've been in contact with Tim at Integrated Signal Systems. He did a lot of stuff for me before. Not a lot. He did a signal bridge, a cantilever, and 2 reading bracket signals, and I like what he did. And this is the case, I'm not going to lie to you, full disclosure, I'm probably going to pay him to do all this, because I'd rather, in this particular instance, again, you've heard me say it before, I'm going to spend my money, not my time. Because while this is all underway, and he's working it, I can then be working under the layout, which I really am not looking forward to, running wires, rerouting stuff, getting the program ready, so as soon as the signals are done, pretty much all I got to do is unbox them, test them, put them in. So this is a case where, again, I'm going to spend my money and not my time, because I want to be working on this stuff. Because I don't like crawling around on the layout anymore as I'm getting older, but you do what you got to do. So anyway, so I have figured out what I need. He's going to be working on that. There's other stuff I got to figure out where I'm going to, rerun stuff and what kind of signals I kind of have an idea what I want to use. This is my worksheet for the CMRI inputs and outputs. I have to go through and redo all that, especially for the main one here that's under Eugene Yard. That has a lot more. Let's see if we can see that under here. Probably won't see anything until I do that, and even then you're not going to see crap. But basically the input-output cards are up here. I got to run down some other wires for spare inputs I have. I have a lot of spare outputs. That's actually one input card and 4 output cards. So the mathematics look like I don't need to buy any more cards, which is good. It's just I'm going to have to reshuffle things down here, which of course will be fun. And then get all the signals installed, to determine exactly what I want. Although I have a good idea what I'm going to do. Maybe that'll be in another video, but pretty much sharing is going to be a Pensy installation. I don't know why, I just feel like it. So a lot of the signals here, well, all the signals here are going to be Pensy position lights. The other ones are going to be the more, I don't know what they are, GRS, the kind of the New York Centrals type. I'm not sure the official name of it. But doing that, and I'm going to have to get rid of, because I think I still have, oh yeah, here they are. Look at that, a whole drawer full of BLMA signals. Anyone want to buy some? And I'm not using my channel to hawk stuff, but I do want to sell these, try to get some money to pay for all the other signals I'm going to get. And I know some of these are hard to find sometimes, so I guess if anyone's really interested, let me know. I will test them all. As far as I know, everything's working. Everything was working when I took it off the layout. So there's, what, 1, 2, 3 left hand. In fact, there's, okay, 3 of the left-hand cantilevers, the signal bridge, 2 of the double heads, 4 of the single heads. Although one's missing a ladder. I think a ladder fell off of one of them. These are the details west. Their signals, they're nice too. 2 double heads and 1 single head. They were coming off. This was the old Eugene West, and that was coming out of the old intermodal yard. And I do have one other cantilever that's still in place over on Wallace. That looks like it's a right hand. So, no, it's exactly, let me see. Same as this. Yeah, it is. So I have 4 of those. I have 4 of these, the signal bridge and the other stuff. If anyone's interested, let me know. I certainly will test everything before I would sell it. I can put it on eBay, but then you got to deal with all the fees and everything. Anyway, so this will all be Pensy position light. I'm probably going to put, just for fun, down at this interlocking, another bracket signal here. Boop, because I figure that's, a lot of them I'm not doing that just because if you're going to be reaching it, I don't want to have stuff break. But that's kind of far enough back. And if it's a little bit higher, I mean, the crew might be able to see, because you have to kind of get exactly where I am here to see that signal, just because of the way the interlocking is laid out. So that might be kind of fun to have a bracket signal there. The rest of them are probably going to be just the normal mass signals. Other things I'd like to do, I want to get the sanding system in here and kind of finish up this scene. So I'm going to work on that as well. In amongst crawling around on my hands and knees and stringing wire. But so that's that. I don't know when I'll be able to put something else up that's of any interest, because this is really kind of mundane. Just kind of, stick in the mud, just kind of gotta get it done type stuff. I'm not looking forward to it. Maybe I'll have an op session, because everything still runs, so I can do it. I just don't have the signals working. But all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that up. Like I said, coming up will be a lot of this shenanigans, and maybe I'll try to, squeeze in some fun stuff, some more scenery here and there and things too, just to get a break from the monotony that this is going to be. But other than that, we will be back once I get some more work done. It's nighttime. No, the f-stop's too high. Alright, so thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll get another update up when I have anything at least that's a little more interesting to post. But we'll keep plugging away and try to get some fun stuff done. So more to come as events transpire here. Alright, going to wrap up this video here with a little summary of our mini-meet, just because I've been plugging it for a while, so I'll let you know how things went. Overall, I had a great time. We had 47 registrants, 24 from our division, 23 from outside. We actually signed up several new people to the NMRA. 2 signed up for the Rail Pass that were not currently NMRA members. So thank you again to everybody for showing up. Also want to thank a big shout out to our vendor, CMR Products. Highly recommend, give them a look. Go to their website, check it out. These folks have a lot of really neat things, a lot of interesting stuff on their website. You will not be disappointed. So please, we want to support them as much as possible. So check out their website. Upon entry, folks were greeted by a motley crew of folks, men in the registration desk. I'm not sure who that ugly guy there is on the right-hand side, but you might recognize his voice. Clinics went off fairly well. All were really well attended. Here's Bill Schopf giving his structures with wooden blocks. Very, very well received. Bill does a great job on that clinic. The raffle room, white elephant sales, and display area was well attended. The biggest raffle item, most popular, was the Rapido RDC3. So again, thanks to all the vendors who provided items for the raffle. The white elephant sale did fairly well. This display had some great models. We did have one individual enter for judging, and she had a fantastic model and actually won a merit award. It was a very, very well done. It's from a kit with extra details and signage and a lot of, the details were added. So very, very nice job on that, and congratulations for the merit award. And one of the funnest things for me personally was on Friday and Saturday night, I had about 12 people per night stop on by for the layout tour. It was great to meet everybody. So thanks everyone for coming out and stopping by. And it was really cool to meet a lot of folks from the channel. That was great. And one of the fun things was on Saturday night, a young couple who turned out to be we were calling them the mystery couple from Cincinnati. I'm not going to name names, but if you're watching this, you guys know who you are. They had a locomotive that they couldn't run, so they asked, can we run it on your layout? I was like, yeah, get it out. We're going to fire it up. So we ran it around the layout. And they actually won you can see the I Love New York boxcar. They won that in the raffle. Very pleased with that. So we let them get the train out. Now, I made them work. They had to actually take a boxcar back from Fairview back to Eugene, so it wasn't a free ride. So that was very enjoyable. So I really enjoyed meeting everybody. Glad we could help out with running a locomotive. And I really do hope folks can make it next year, next September 2020. We'll do this again. I think we're still working on the exact date, but I will get that out eventually. So I do appreciate everyone who showed up. Again, thank you, CMR, for supporting us as a vendor. And thanks to everybody who took the time to come out and join us at the mini-meet. Thanks again, folks. And we hope to see a lot of you and many more people next year.